Welcome to Dinner DeeAs. I'm Jeff Bilvin. Today we have two ideas for dinner with zero meat. First up, fajitas, but a vegan version. Quick, convenient, and cooked on a sheet pan. Then we're making stroganoff, but with a twist. We're using mushrooms to make it even better than beef. Joining me in the kitchen today is a global gourmet. Danielle Stevens is a daughter of a Latino and a Brit, was born in Hawaii, raised in Europe, but American through and through, and here with us today in the Dinner DeeAs kitchen. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
We are too, because when Danielle and her family went vegan, she started her own vegan restaurant to, in her words, bring people together and use ridiculously delicious vegan food to do it. And the first of your ridiculously delicious recipes is the fajitas, and brought to us with the beautiful magic of the sheet pan.
Yes, the sheet pan. You can cook a lot of veggies all at one time if you just get them all slathered up in some oil and stick them in the oven, absolutely.
I love it. And so we're starting off with slicing up these portobello mushrooms.
Yeah, we sure are. We're gonna add some more veggies here. We have an array, as you see, of beautiful colors of different peppers. We've got green, of course, red and yellow. Some gorgeous red onions, and we'll bring in some cauliflower because who doesn't love cauliflower,
I
right?
love it. I love it
We'll
already.
leave some of these here. Well, I think we can use all of them.
Oh,
All
why
right.
not? I mean,
why
come on
not?
now. We're eating healthy, but we're eating delicious.
That's right, that's right. Yep. So we're gonna give these a good toss. We'll get them slathered up with some oil.
Mm-hmm. Any particular oil of choice that you like to use for this?
I like to use extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
Yep. And it's probably, it's not too much. You don't want to over oil them, of course. So we'll get those all tossed up. We have a great blend here of some delicious spices.
Now, what do we have in there?
We have cumin, we have chili powder, we have paprika, and then of course onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and pepper.
So the staples of what you would imagine from having fajitas, whether they're beef or chicken, this has got the same flavor profile as you would be expecting.
That's right, absolutely. You know what? I'm all dirty. You want to spray our sheet pan for us?
I'd love to. I'd absolutely love to.
We'll get those in the oven. You do want to cook them at a high heat so they get nice and cooked up evenly.
Okay.
We're going to put them in the oven at 425. So you're just going to spread them out in a nice single layer so they can all get cooked evenly. Delicious. Look at those colors.
And that's fast.
Yes, it's so fast. It's really fast. It's really fast. This is something you can throw in, get some other things done around the house, and still get dinner on the table, and it'll be nice and healthy.
And still have great fresh food ready to go.
That's
Can
right.
I help you put this into the oven?
I would love
Okay.
that. Thank you.
And so this is going to go in at 425.
Yeah, 425. Absolutely.
Okay.
Perfect. Done.
Done.
All right.
So we've got the veggies roasting.
Yep. So we want to add a little bit more protein to this meal.
Mm-hmm.
People talk a lot about protein in vegan meals. So we're going to add some beans. And what we're going to do is we're actually make some homemade refried beans.
Love it. I love it.
Super, super easy. So let's get some of these ingredients over here. We've got another little bit of olive oil to start us off.
Now, we were just talking a moment ago that sometimes what you would find in the grocery store has some missing ingredients. And refried beans, for some cans, will have lard that's hidden in there.
An extra ingredient, right?
Extra ingredients. But as a vegan, you can't have lard.
No lard for us. Absolutely not. It's such an easy thing to make at home, and you know what's going to go into it, right? Now,
And there's no sugars, there's the salt. You
That's
get to
right.
control everything else that's, not just the ingredients for having a vegan life with what would be lard, but also the sugars, the salts, the stuff that
Absolutely.
I want to, kind of
yes,
keep to
I
the
want to
side.
stay away from those
Yeah.
additives, right? Absolutely. So you could soak your own, pinto beans. We're going to start this with pinto beans. You can make a refried black bean as well, which can be delicious. So I did bring canned, pinto beans. So we're going to get those in here in just a minute after some of this garlic.
And that's just
sautés up a little
garlic
bit.
and oil right
just
now.
Garlic and oil. That's
Okay.
right. That's it. Nice
Now,
and
if
easy.
you want to join Danielle and her family and make one of your meals plant-based this week, grab her recipes for these fajitas and the stroganoff that we'll be making later at dinnerdeeas.com. We have all the ingredients, all the amounts, and all the directions ready to print. Scan the QR code to find us fastest. Just open up the camera app on your phone as if you're taking a photo and point at that squiggly thing right there in the corner of your screen, that little box, a link to dinnerdeeas.com will appear.
So again, you can soak your beans overnight, or you can, if you're in a hurry, you can cheat and use a can of pinto beans. Both of them are going to be delicious, but again, you know what you're going to be putting into these, so we're just going to get those sauteed up here and get them hot.
I love it.
And it'll be nice and easy.
I love it. I'm going to move these over on your side here.
Awesome. Yeah, let's
And you
go
already
ahead.
drained these, but you kept the water and you reserved it, so you
I
separated
did.
it.
Yep. You want to separate it because we're going to use that to thicken it up as they cook.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and add these beans in right here. And we're just going to use the whole thing. And then we're just going to let them cook. And actually, if you wouldn't mind passing me those spices.
And what do you have inside the spice blend here?
So this one's really easy. This is salt and cumin and a little bit of chili powder. So we're
Very
going to
nice.
add those in as well.
Very simple. And again,
Yep, nice and simple.
ingredients that you probably already have in the pantry just to pull out.
Absolutely. So we'll just get those mixed up.
And what's nice too is that you can control that heat. If you wanted to add things, you can. If you don't, you can kind of cut back on
That's right.
what you want.
That's right. Can you pass me our reserved liquid?
I will.
So we're only going to add about, so it gives you about a half a cup from the can, and we're going to mix it up because it's settled, and we're going to add about half of that back right now, so about a fourth of a cup or so.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be exact, but that's just so it can simmer in those delicious juices, and we'll save that for later.
All right.
All right, and then we're just going to let that cook and let that all
Come together.
Come
I love
together.
it because our beans are going to bubble away while we take a break. And when we come back, where's the beef? It's nowhere. But how to make stroganoff with a tasty twist, though, coming up on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, where we're making meat-free meals today with Danielle Stevens from Vine Vegan in Brandon. She's sharing two dishes with us, vegan fajitas and a mushroom stroganoff. Before the break, we started our fajitas by mixing together a rainbow of veggies, red onions, bell peppers, cauliflower, and mushrooms. We tossed them with olive oil and spices and then simply baked them on a sheet tray. And then we started making our refried beans from scratch. To avoid the lovely lard that some canned beans do have in them, and we sauteed them with garlic. We added those drained pinto beans back in, spices, and just a little bit of water from those beans and left it there to simmer, which means now we're tackling a Russian recipe or maybe just a vegan recipe. This
That's right.
vegan version of what is a mushroom stroganoff. So what have we already started doing over here?
So far, we're just getting our onions cooked up with some extra virgin olive oil. As you can see, they're trying to translucent already.
All right, so we're just trying to sweat them
Yep.
a little bit.
Yep, you don't have to do anything super special. So
Okay.
chop them up and get them started with olive oil. So we'll add in some minced garlic.
Love it.
Yep, and we'll get that tossed in there as well and mix it up. So we'll let those cook for just a moment.
Okay.
And in just a minute, we're gonna add in our mushrooms. Everything about this meal is so similar to the way that you would make it the normal way or the other way with beef. You're just gonna replace a couple ingredients and make it vegan.
It's just a swap out.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and add these in. I think our garlic is doing a great job already.
Yeah, it smells
Getting
already
cooked.
fantastic.
Yes, so we'll get these mixed in. Saute those up for just a minute.
And to make this mushroom stroganoff for your dinner, a cow will thank you, my friends, because you can get Danielle's recipes for that and the vegan fajitas at dinnerdeas.com. The quickest way is to scan the QR code in the corner of your screen with your phone, and a link to us will pop right up.
These guys are ready. They're looking nice and cooked up. You just want to brown those mushrooms just like you would brown some beef, right?
Okay.
All right, so we're going to add these liquids in.
Okay.
So let me tell you a little bit about what we have in here. We have a vegetable broth
Okay.
instead of a beef broth, which you can buy in the broth aisle at your local grocery store. We also added in some soy sauce and some balsamic vinegar to give it like that meaty taste.
Nice.
So we're going to add that in, and then we're just going to let those cook, and you can smell the balsamic. Can you smell
yeah.
it?
Oh, yeah.
So we've
Nice.
got salt, pepper, smoked paprika, and of course, some onion powder as well, so we'll add that in. Now our final ingredient you may not find in a non-vegan household. This is a staple for a lot of people that are eating plant-based.
Okay.
This is nutritional yeast.
Nutritional yeast. Okay.
Nutritional yeast.
No.
We call it nooch.
Nooch.
Yeah, if you're a vegan. If you're not a vegan, you have to call it nutritional yeast.
Okay, so then that's like, is
the
that like
secret
the street?
language.
It's the secret language.
It's the
That's the street cred.
street
Like,
cred.
I come in there, I'm a total poser right there.
Yes,
So I
right.
can't do it. I can't do it.
That's
so,
right.
all right, but this is
nooch. Yep.
This is nooch.
So we're gonna add, some sprinkles of nooch. So the great thing about nutritional yeast is it has like this cheesy flavor. And we're not adding too much here, just a little bit to season it. It's so good for you. I actually eat it every day in
Really?
some way.
How are you using it every day? Is it like, a spoonful and you're just going
No.
straight in? Is it you're infusing it in with a liquid and taking it like a tea? What are you doing? How do you find a way to be able to bring can I say it? Can I join the club for right now?
Just
Do I get a
because
street
we're
pass?
together.
How do I get that nooch in there?
That nooch.
I
So you
wanna
can
get
add
that
nooch to, I would say anything that you're going to have hot,
Okay.
except for popcorn. It's really a delicious topper for popcorn.
Okay.
They call it nature's Cheeto dust.
I could totally see that with what you were saying with that cheesiness behind it
it's
and
got
that kind of flavor
delicious,
profile.
delicious
All right.
cheesy flavor. So I fold it into pasta sauces. You can sprinkle it on top of a salad. You can put it on your veggies. You can mix it with olive oil and some other salt and pepper and sprinkle it on things. It has a lot of great nutrients in it. It's
Without having your orange fingers, if it's going to be that Cheeto dust.
No orange fingers.
So you don't
that's
have
right.
that at all.
That's right. And no guilt and no dyes and all that stuff. This is natural and
right.
it's just so good for you. It has lots of B12 and protein and all those things people think that vegans are missing.
Absolutely, but they're not going to be missing the vegetables that have been roasted. Can I take those? I want to take a look and see
let's
what's
take a
going on
look at
with
them.
these.
Absolutely.
Now these have been roasting here at 425. And
Yeah.
look at them.
Ooh, they
wow.
are toasty. So we're gonna give them a little toss, and they really only need just another couple of minutes
Okay.
to just get them crispy and finished off. Look how much they reduced. That whole
totally.
thing was completely full, but this is still enough for a family.
And you need that high temperature because
Yes.
without that, all of that moisture would have just made it just really
Yes.
soupy.
Absolutely, but these are looking perfect, nice
Yeah.
and crispy. They're
Very
gonna be
nice.
great,
All right.
absolutely.
Pop these back into the oven?
Yes,
All right.
please. And they are almost finished.
Okay. Well, our fajitas finish up with the veggies in the oven and the stroganoff starts to simmer here. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, how to get these onto 2 perfect plates of deliciousness ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, where we're making meatless meals, vegan fajitas, and a mushroom stroganoff. Sharing these ideas for dinner is Danielle Stevens from Vine Vegan in Brandon. And though these are very much vegan dishes, we're not going to be missing the meats, right?
No, you're never gonna miss it. You're gonna be nice and full afterwards, I promise.
I love it. Before the break, we started our stroganoff by frying some onion, adding garlic, some mushrooms in place of the meat, and a little balsamic vinegar, the vegetable broth, soy sauce, some spices, plus that little sprinkling of some nooch there we got. And that
nooch.
was nutritional yeast to anyone who wasn't watching earlier, and I get the street cred to actually say it.
Yeah,
So
you can say it. I'll let you.
I'm there today. And it's all been simmering away since we just last saw y'all. And so now, what are you doing here, though?
Yep, so we're just making a slurry. We have some plant-based heavy whipping cream.
Heavy whipping cream,
Heavy whipping cream,
but vegan.
but vegan, that's right. This isn't hard to find. You can get it at Walmart. But if you don't have any of that, you can use any plant-based milk. Oat milk, almond milk are probably your best choices. So
All right.
we put some cornstarch in here to use it as a thickening agent.
Okay.
We used heavy whipping cream as opposed to oat milk because we want it to be nice and creamy. And so we're just gonna pour this right into our stroganoff mixture here. Now it's looking very familiar, right?
It really is.
Yep, that's what stroganoff has to look like. All right, and there it is. So we're gonna bring that back up to get a little bit hotter,
Okay.
and we'll let it boil and simmer, and it's gonna thicken a little bit, and then it's almost ready.
And then we're gonna finish off our fajitas while we let this get ready here.
That's right, yep.
All right.
So our pinto beans have been cooking all this time, and they are ready. So if you remember, we reserved that liquid from the can. We put in a little bit in the beginning. We put the rest of it during the break. And they are ready. They're ready to be mashed. Yep. So, again, I don't know why they call them refried beans. They should call them remashed beans, maybe, because we're not frying them. But we're just going to use a standard potato masher. And we're just going to get in there and make them to how they look like when you get them out of a can, right? So they are looking really perfect and pretty done to me. You can choose your desired consistency, how much you want to mash them. To me, these look perfect. There's still some whole beans in there as well, but they're looking like how they should look.
Now, this could be a star on its own, but truly, it's the vegetables that are inside the oven. Can I go ahead and pull
Please,
these out?
yes.
All right.
Bring them out.
Let's go for it. Oh, look at this. Look at this.
All right. They are ready.
Look. Quick, easy, one tray.
So I think it's important to heat up your tortilla first. So we did that before we came back, and it's ready for us. So we're gonna add Now, this cheese looks pretty familiar, right?
It really does.
But it is vegan. It's a vegan cheese.
I'll be the taste tester of that one.
Not bad, right?
It does have a cheesiness behind it.
Yes, it's great. To me, this is the best one that you can buy for shredding to use in a fajita and a taco and things like that.
How's the meltability though? Because that's something that I hear a lot.
It's really important. So we use this in our mac and cheese recipe. It melts really, really well.
You know, it's funny you say that because like I'm kind of getting that whole like Kraft macaroni and cheese kind of consistency.
Great.
So it has that kind of, you know, nostalgia but familiarity.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes. So to me, it's important that your cheese tastes good. You don't want cheese that tastes bad, and that can turn a lot of people away from vegan cheeses. This one is a great alternative.
Okay.
It's called Vivan cheese, and you can really only find it at Sprouts.
Okay.
But it's great. We love it. All right, so then we're gonna add, our refried beans right to here. Now let's see how hungry we are. We'll add a couple scoops of this. Thank you for giving that a nice stir.
Oh, absolutely. And this is just thickening up here as I'm just giving a nice little quick stir here.
Perfect. All right, and then it's time for us to add in a nice healthy serving of these delicious veggies. That looks pretty familiar too, right?
It looks absolutely familiar.
Standard fajita.
Everything is standard here.
That's right, that's right. We'll add some delicious mushrooms on here. Perfect.
Look at that.
All
Beautiful.
right, looking good. And then we're gonna top it with a gorgeous avocado.
Oh, come on now. Now you're just spoiling us. I mean, look at this.
And then, you don't have to do this, but I think it adds that delicious little last touch, and of course, a little sprinkle of color. And this is just some chopped up cilantro on top. And now it's ready.
It looks beautiful.
It's
Absolutely
done.
stunning. All right.
That's right.
And we've got our beef stroganoff here. We already did some pasta before. We already cooked it. We drained it.
That's right.
And then...
Oh, this is looking perfect. Perfect consistency. It's nice and thick the way we want it. And we're just gonna add those noodles right in there.
Very nice.
We're gonna fold it all in. All right, here we go.
This looks absolutely fantastic.
Yes, I'm excited. So we're gonna maybe stick it in that bowl right there.
Wonderful.
I'll let you do that.
Wonderful.
Perfect, nice and hearty.
To make these meals for your dinner tonight, as a carnivore myself, I say go for it. Try it, folks. Get Danielle's recipes at our website, DinnerDeeAs.com. We have all the ingredients, the amounts, the directions, all ready to print. Just scan the QR code to grab it. And let us know if you cook anything from our treasure trove of recent recipes. That's exactly what Teresa did. She's watching us in St. Pete and made the ginger and orange blossom honey salmon shared by beekeeper Alicia Bixler. Teresa says, love your show. This was delicious. Teresa, thank you. It looks fantastic. And I'm so happy that you had some fun with a great recipe here. And when we come back, time to taste test and make sure these meals are as good to the taste buds as they are to the planet. Ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz, and no animals were harmed in the making of this program because we're making two, count them, two meat-free meals that you can try with your family tonight. Thanks to Danielle Stevens from Vine Vegan in Brandon for coming by, because today we've been making not only vegan fajitas, but also a mushroom stroganoff, and both were made beginning to end during the show. I don't know where to start. Fajita, stroganoff, where are we going?
Dealer's choice. What do you think?
Let's go fajita then.
All right, all right.
Okay.
I want to watch you have a big bite.
And tell me what we've got going on here then.
Yes, so we've got, first layer is a little bit of vegan cheese. Then we have our homemade refried beans, delicious veggies that we just put in the oven with some different spices. Then we got avocado, and we topped it off with some cilantro.
And everything that you would want from being the meat eater, like many of you watching right now are, it's there.
It's there, that's right.
It's there. Even the cheese.
Even the cheese.
Even the cheese has that bite behind it that it's working. You didn't get a bite yet. Come on now, you got to join me. I'm going back in for another bite for that one. Because I absolutely love this. What do you think?
I think it tastes great.
All right, now, the stroganoff.
Oh, yes.
We had mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
We had pasta.
Yep.
We had cornstarch.
Cornstarch, yeah.
But we also had a very special ingredient that went with the cornstarch to give it back that little bit of that creaminess behind it.
That's right.
Which was?
Which was a plant-based heavy whipping cream. If you don't have that on hand, and you can just get it at Walmart, but if you don't have it on hand, you can use almond milk or oat milk as well. And you want to put that cornstarch to make it nice and thick and creamy. What do you think?
It's absolutely fantastic. That little bit of soy, that balsamic vinegar that was in there as well, brings back that umami kind of flavor behind those that I'm wanting. And I'm literally getting it all.
Yes, it's delicious. Nice and hearty. It's a great meal to have to fill you up. Feed your whole family.
This has been a wonderful way to ease in. You don't have to jump in.
No.
You can have great alternatives that still have a lot of flavor. Thanks again to Danielle Stevens. DinnerDeas.com is where you can find her recipes from today's show. I'm Jeff Philbin. Thanks for watching, and see you next time with more Dinner Dias.